Welcome to a new season of Cozy Womb Podcast. This is season 5 of Cozy Womb. My name is Shan, mom of the girls. This is a podcast where we talk about surviving parenting, the realness about preggo-ness, and giving really good tips on being our best parent and evolving every day. So if that's what you're looking for, you're at the right place. Hey guys, thank you for listening to Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. This is season 5, episode 21. Just mommy and me. Because for some of us, it is just a mommy and me thing. And just a mommy and me thing could be you and one child. It could be you and multiple children. And it could be you and your mom, how you grew up. And I'm not saying it's something to strive for, but sometimes that's just where we are. And I think mothers make the most out of where they are with their children all the time. I know my mom did. And being with one parent has its pros and cons. And I'm just sharing what being raised primarily by my mom did for me. Thank you guys for picking me to listen to. So let's just get into today's show.
Hey, it's Anya Dula, and I am the host of Intercultured with Anya Dula. Intercultured with Anya Dula is a podcast that focuses on motherhood, culture, birth work, and travel. And it's just a place for women to come together to discuss our philosophies on motherhood, to discuss our work and birth work, if that's what we do, but mainly to bring women of all different cultures together so that we can talk about how we mother, how we #do motherhood, so that we can learn from one another and learn to love each other. That's really what it's all about. I hope you'll join us. Intercultured with Anya Dula podcast is available on all the major podcast stations. I hope you'll join us. Can't wait to connect.
Here we go.
Back to the show. Single parenting is hard, but sometimes it's the best gamble available for the safety for yourself as a parent. Could be a mom or a dad, and your kids. And sometimes one parent raising a child or children is a new start, a fresh start, a beginning. My mom did her best with her health being poor and with her being lonely, and me growing up and seeing other kids with both parents. I knew that was something that my mom wished she had. It was like another adult around to support her, where she didn't have to, walk back and forth to the grocery store with us with hella bags and take the trolley and take the bus to go do things and, have to be on Section 8 before she can get her house, and always have to move with us in mind, always had to pick a job with us in mind, and just her knowing that it was on her to make sure everything was available for us. Growing up, my mom never dated, and she never remarried after my father, but my mom is a lifetime fanatic. My mom is a Hallmark Channel queen, so I know she loves love. I know she really wants to be married again. She's told me so many times in so many ways that she wants to be married again, and she wants to have her own house, and she wants to have her own garden, and she wants to sew, and she doesn't want to have to do something she doesn't like, and she just wants to be able. And I think as mothers, we all want to be able. As fathers, we all want to be able. Now, mommy and me doesn't mean it can only be mommy and me. Sometimes it's daddy and me. I know a lot of single fathers out there that are working really hard providing, taking care of a child or multiple children in the house with no mother there. Sometimes every woman that gives birth to a child is not a mother. Mothering is like something you evolve into as a woman. And sometimes there are just some women that are not up for that challenge. It is a challenge. It's constantly giving and giving and giving and showing up and being consistent. And sometimes people are legally mothers, but not emotionally or spiritually or financially or consistently mothers. And sometimes dads take that weight. But for the most part, I grew up with my mom, with a single parent the longest than I did living with both my mom and my dad. And my mom told me in my late 20s that she was just scared of bringing a man in my life. So she refrained from it. And that made me very sad because my mom allowed her having children with someone different and that relationship not working out to dictate, her having like love and fulfillment in her heart of, being loved by someone, being cared by someone, learning about another human being and allowing them to trust and allowing herself to trust another man. She left that space a hole for years, for decades. And, now that all of her children are grown, I feel like my mom is still searching for that. She's still, she'll be 67 this year and still searching for that love, that fulfillment. And I just don't want any single mom out there to think, just because you have a kid that you're not deserving of love, because you are, that you're not deserving to be married because you are. But it's one thing to want those fulfillments in life, but it's another thing to want that so bad that you allow people in your life that you shouldn't, especially when you have kids. Like for me, I don't allow anyone that I'm quote unquote talking to or getting to know to come to my home. I don't introduce them to my children. I feel like that's a step you work up to months after months after months after months. You know what I'm saying? You really have to put people today through a filter system before you can introduce them to people you love that you cannot replace. People who are very impressionable at a young age. You really have to baby step that thing. And that's what I do. Usually, most men don't make the cut on the meeting. So I'm happy about that. Pro and a con. But, because it didn't work out, my kids don't have to bring up, hey, what happened to such and such? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just very selective. I've never had a boyfriend, watch my kids. I've never had a questionable person, play with my kids. I've never had someone I was dating but never met his family or knew his first and last name and middle name and his phone number, his social, like being the essence of my children. So when I hear stories of women who are single mothers that leave their children with men that they like, or leave their children with people that they're seeing, or sell their children off for drugs, or allow, men that they're just talking to discipline their kids. I'm just like, how do you give a human being that's never been a parent most of the time, is not the parent of your child, you're not married, precedence off of, okay, go ahead and do it, I'll be back, or I'm going to work, they need to stay here with you. No, you don't do that. So, just mommy and me, I grew up being perfectly fine with that. Now, I'm not saying that it's a goal to have it only be my kids and I. It's not a goal, but for right now, that's the best thing I can do, because I'm still figuring out, how can I communicate my needs to another human being? How can I communicate the way I need to be loved properly to another human being? How do I take criticism? How do I balance, giving my time and my affection and my love to another adult man and be the best mom I can be? And how do I bring someone that I hope to get closer to evolve into something more serious? How do I tiptoe them around my children to where it doesn't leave an impression like this person is going to be here forever? And how do I tell them, I don't know if they're going to be here forever, but they're here for right now. Like, I don't want my daughters, because I have 2 daughters, I don't want my daughters to see like multiple men come in and out of my life. And I think my mom thought about that too. But I don't want to be 67 looking for love either. Like, I don't want to be 67 dating or trying to get to know a complete stranger either. So it's like balancing it all, making time for you to be an individual, making time for you to have one-on-one time with your kids, making time for you to decompress and be loved, and teach someone how to love you and respect you and honor you with your children. And what example of a man do you want your children to see you with? What impression is that going to leave in their mind decades later, when they grow up? So all of that is something I think about. And moms make weird sacrifices, but I think it's very important for moms to not make sacrifices to the point where they forget how to love other people and how to be loved. Don't make sacrifices to the point where you feel uncomfortable with a man hugging you or giving you a compliment. Don't leave such a gap of space on being loved and speaking words of affirmation and getting those words told to you from another human being that you admire, that you like, that you care about, to the point where you leave a hole in your heart where it's guarded by brick wall, steel, a whole combination lock. Because the older you get, the less space you have to tolerate certain things that you tolerated in your 20s as a woman. And then as a mother, it just adds like 10 more pounds of weight on your toleration level. So it goes down, and you have this filter that's so strong. You have this amount of patience that is very short, to where one wrong move, my man, you're out of here. You know what I'm saying? One wrong thing said, and you gave me a flashback of something I grew from that I'm not going back to. And it can be stressful, but what helps is being honest with yourself. If you're honestly not ready to date, don't date. If you're honestly not healed, don't date. If you're honestly working on you and you just want to focus on yourself right now, and you're okay with that, and you're not going to feel any bitterness about that later, work on you. But moms need love too. Moms need companions. We're not out here trying to be the first, the best, the biggest single mom. Like, that is not our cheer. And we just want to make the right choices for our kids. I think some women think a father figure of whatever sort needs to be in front of my child, and that's not true. The right man with the right standards, belief, manners, character, intentions needs to be the best example for your child. And there's no man that will ever come into my life later that will replace their fathers. Their fathers will always be their fathers. And that respect will always have to be given to their fathers. But at the same time, I'm not locked down by only their fathers because I have a child with them in order to not have a man in my life later on that can also be an additional father figure to them if we choose to be married. And I think it's very important for women and single moms to be okay with their life evolving past old relationships that did not work. So how do you fix that situation? So I think if you have good supporters that really understand where you're at emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, that will guard people that love you, like your best friends, your favorite cousins, or whoever it is, be like, okay, yes, she's single, but no, she's not looking right now. So like they guard off a lot of men. A lot of times, maybe, people that see your page on Instagram or Facebook might pop into like who they know as your best friend, be like, hey, is she single? Is she talking to anybody? They be like, no, she's not talking to anybody, but she's not going to talk to you. Like, they can be like your honest blockers. And, when it comes to you, you can be your honest blocker. Yes, I'm single. I'm not looking to date. This is a no zone. Has nothing to do with you. It's all to do with me. I just rather focus on myself, period. It's okay to be honest with yourself. If you're not ready, you're not ready. Allow relationships to happen with the other parent, with your child. If you feel like your child is missing out on that father bond, then let them go spend some more time with their fathers. You don't have to get a brand new man that you don't know enough about to play daddy. That's not healthy. Let them spend more time with their fathers if you feel like they need time with their fathers, or you feel like you need some personal time with yourself. Let them go spend some more time with their fathers, and be aware of your child's needs. Like, if you see your child acting out in school, if you see your child being very emotional and you're not understanding where it's coming from, have that conversation. I mean, just like how parents sometimes get, stressed because they've been around their kids too long, too many days, especially in this quarantine. I feel like kids get tired of their parents too. Sometimes kids need to break away from y'all too. I know the girls tired of me telling them to pick up their books off the floor, pick up the toys, put down the iPad, don't come out here until your room is clean, pick up your cup off the table, did you clean the floor, go get the broom. Like, I know they're tired of that. So respect given needs to be respect taken also. And that's how you balance that. So your kids need time away from you, just like you need time away from your kids. You just have to balance that out. And the best way I feel to balance that out is with friends who have kids, or maybe you will watch your kids, your friend's kid, and vice versa. So you could get some you time, because that's going to help you guys relax. That's going to lower yelling and tantrums and just things you don't need. So just mommy and me doesn't mean forever. It doesn't mean that's the only people that can be in your life. It means that you've picked up a responsibility that should be daddy, mommy, and me, or daddy, mommy, and us. And maybe you're just going to have to hold it down for everybody, for your kids for a little while by yourself. but it doesn't mean it's forever. And I just want women to really understand that it just being you and your kids doesn't have to be the end goal. It could be the beginning. Thank you for listening to Cozy Womb. Peace. Thank you guys for supporting Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. When you listen, you support. And I just want you guys to know that I am thankful and I'm grateful. And when you listen, you support myself, you support my daughters. When you buy anything from Cozy Womb Shop, you support. And I appreciate it. You could have picked any podcast and you're here. Please visit us on Cozy Womb on Facebook, Cozy Womb Pod on IG, Cozy Womb Pod on Twitter. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you guys have another teachable day, another productive day. And you just keep things in motion. I know things feel very weird right now with this quarantine going on, but we can do it. Peace. Bye.
Bye.